Guys, take out your notes, close the extra tabs, and pay the fuck attention because we're gonna talk how to lose your gut in literally 60 days, bro. There's the proof. February 14th, Valentine's Day, I was fucking heartbroken like a motherfucker. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna focus on myself and I'm gonna prove this bitch the fuck wrong. So I locked the fuck in. 60 days later, I was looking like him. Literally, bro. So there's a proof for February 14th to April 7th, right? Total transformation, literally in 60 days. And for those of you guys that are doubting me, I literally got run over by a car a month after that picture was taken where I was looking like him. And I got 6 fractures in my spine, right? 3 in my neck, 3 in my back. And guess what, bro? That was another opportunity to prove that I could do it again in 60 days, bro. Come on, man. Literally, there's the proof, man. I did another transformation after getting my neck brace taken off after recovering from that accident. Literally, August 14th, as you guys see the picture on the left, and then October 14th, 60 days exactly, bro. So if you're literally struggling with having a gut, pay the fuck attention, bro, because this is proof. I've done it twice in 1 year, bro. Think about that. 60 days, all right? And just so you guys believe me, if you guys think I'm lying, I'm actually able to use the same system to help other people. And this transformation was done in 90 days. Okay. The reason it took us a little longer with him is because he was a complete rookie. He had never really lifted before. He was new to the gym, whereas I had been lifting for several years, which is why I was able to make the transformation quicker than him. But guys, this was done in 90 days. And if you guys doubt me, here's even more proof. I made a full testimonial video interviewing him for like 20 minutes long. All right. And this is like a screenshot of the WhatsApp conversation where some people in my comments like to throw shade, and they were saying how, oh, that's not possible in 3 months, right? And here he replies, he says, definitely was in 3 months. And here we're cracking up at these fucking idiots in the comment section who hate themselves because they're fat as fuck and have a big ass stomach, can't see their dick, and they get tired after being 2 minutes in missionary style, huffing and puffing, right? So if you guys are mad at your lack of results, you know what I'm saying? Don't come over here and spread hate on my channel, right? Just be mad at yourselves because you're lazy and you're not following the right system. And here's even more proof, bro. This was done in 30 days. Look at the left, look on the right. Literally went from having a bloated stomach pretty much to having a 6-pack in 30 days. And there's the proof on the WhatsApp screenshot. I said hit the progress out the park this first month. So that was literally in 30 days, 1 month. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video, how to get rid of your gut. So, guys, stop doing fucking abs. Everybody talking about doing crunches, doing leg raises, doing all this shit, bro. This is the most stupid thing I've ever seen is guys who are fat doing ab exercises in the gym. That is not going to do nothing. You can do a million crunches and you will never be able to see your six pack or your abs. Okay. And before someone writes in the comments, oh, you should still train your abs because then when you get lean, you'll be, bro, just shut up, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't come over here commenting with your faceless profile picture because we know you don't have abs. So if you don't have abs, just shut up and pay attention. So stop eating salads. All this shit about, oh, I'm just eating a salad. Bro, stop water fasting. All these fucking guys water fasting. Then they end up looking skinny fat. They end up losing 50, 60 pounds and they still have a gut. They still look skinny fat because they didn't build muscle and change their body composition like we're going to talk about. And this is probably my favorite one. Don't eat after 6 p.m., bro. Don't eat at night, guys. All my guys literally eat at night. I eat at night, and we still get ripped as fuck. That's the biggest load of crap I ever heard. So let's talk about the reason you have a big ass stomach in the first place. Now, the reason you have a big gut, aka a big ass stomach. Yes, I'm talking to you. Yes. Yeah, bro. Pinch your fucking stomach right now. Pause the video. Pinch your stomach and look down. If you can pinch, you got a big ass stomach, so pay attention. Is because of your high body fat percentage. Okay. When you have a high body fat percentage, you're going to have a big ass stomach. And when you have a high body fat percentage, you're going to have a lot of visceral fat. For you guys that don't know what visceral fat looks like, this is a picture on the right where I was working with a gentleman who specifically came to me because he told me he had a lot of visceral fat. And as you see in the left picture, he wasn't obesely fat. He just had that condensed fat accumulation in the gut. And as you see on the right, 3 months later, we got this gentleman looking right. You know what I'm saying? Actually, his wife should actually call me and be like, yo, Huncho, shout out to you, man. You saved the marriage. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, bro, that was a 3 month transformation. And that is what visceral fat is. So if you have a gut, pay attention because we're going to talk about how to solve these problems, bro. So how do we fix this? All right. So the solution, the only way to fix your big ass stomach in the shortest amount of time possible, and you're going to want to screenshot this slide because this is essentially the keys. All right. These are the keys. Number one, calorie deficit to lower your body fat. We're going to go in depth into each one. All right. Step number two is clean up your food choices. This is how you begin to fix the visceral fat and the inflammation in your gut. The pizzas, the protein bars, the fucking processed bullshit. Okay. Number three, building muscle. This is what's going to help lower your body fat even more. So you won't end up looking skinny fat. We're going to talk about the right way to actually build muscle. And then number four is track your macros daily, which is this is where a lot of people fuck up. To further accelerate the fat loss and give your body the nutrients, the firepower that it needs to start building muscle mass. If you don't track your macros, you're not going to build muscle mass fast as fuck. It's impossible, bro. And then number five, cardiovascular activity helps burn even more fat and healthy for longevity and laying down the pipe. Yeah. Laying down the pipe, man. That's what you're here for, because we know you probably want to get in shape. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to look sexy for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? So pay the fuck attention, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you lack energy and you're getting winded after 2 to 3 minutes of laying down pipe, I used to be there. That was me. I know what that felt like when I was 250 at 6'2". So don't fucking lie to me. Talk about how you don't know what I'm talking about, because you damn right know what I'm talking about. Now, calorie deficit, all right? First point. The only way the human body drops body fat and weight is by being in a calorie deficit. Yes, you have been lied to. All this shit about, you know what I'm saying, oh, the keto diet, or you need to fast, or you need to stop eating after 6, or you just need it. No, that is all bullshit. The number one way that the human body loses fat is by being in a calorie deficit, period. Anything that anybody else is telling you, throw it out the fucking window, all right? So how do we get into a calorie deficit? We take our body weight, we multiply it by 11 or 12. All right, that's your daily calorie target, right? So tracking your calories is going to get you results from the jump. You're going to start dropping body weight. You're going to start dropping body fat from the jump if you track your calories using the calorie deficit formula that I talked about in this video. Now, if this is the only thing that you're doing, all right, and you don't do anything else that I talk about in this video, you're not going to get the results that you want. Okay, you're going to end up looking skinny fat. Imagine losing 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds and hating the way you look because you still have titties and you still have a big ass stomach and you still don't even feel confident enough to take your shirt off at the pool because you know you don't look as good as you could. That's what's going to happen if you only just count your calories, all right? So pay attention. Let's explain what calories and macros are before we get into the meat and potatoes, no pun intended. So calories, right, is the measuring of the energy of certain foods, all right? But here's the thing. The only nutrients on planet Earth that actually have calories are carbs, proteins, and fats. Those are the only nutrients, the only foods on Earth that have calories, all right? So counting calories is going to get you results, right? But you want to have the proper calorie distribution amongst the macronutrients. You want to be eating the right amount of macros, the right amount of carbs, the right amount of proteins, the right amount of fats. If you eat too much fat, you're not going to burn body fat, because if you overconsume fats, your body's going to hold on to fats. Okay? If you eat too much protein, your digestion might suck, right? And you might feel a little bit slow because you're not eating enough carbs. All right? So you want to have the proper balance between these three macronutrients so that you're actually able to drop fat and build muscle. Do you guys understand that? And there's on the bottom, you guys can see 1 gram of carb has 4 calories, 1 gram of protein has 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. Now, counting calories is the rookie step, like I talked about. If you're just getting into fitness and you just want to dip your toe in the water, go ahead and count your calories and that'll give you results. But if you want actually to look good fucking naked, bro, you're going to have to follow the rest of these steps in this video, including your macros, because this is probably the most important one. Now, divide your calories into the proper macros, all right? So, protein, 35% of your calories should come from protein, 40% of your calories should come from carbs, and 25% of your calories should come from fats. Now, before somebody comments in the comment section, yo, Huncho, you used to say 40, 40, 20. Yo, Huncho, you used to say 50, 30, 20. Guys, look, I swear on my mother, God bless her soul, if you just follow what I tell you, you're going to get results. The reason that you do not have results is not because you're 5% off with your macros. The reason you have results is because you're not fucking doing the work. It's because you're not actually tracking your macros. Because I guarantee you, if you just take this and run with it, you're going to get fucking results. There might be a point later down the road, maybe when you're 15% body fat, or later down the road when you are going to have to adjust things, right? And that's when coaches come into play. That's when specificities come into play. That's when dialing things onto a personalized level comes into play, like I do for all of my clients. So if you want to actually hit your goals faster and a personalized plan, hit the link in the description for some fucking coaching, non-paid promotion. You know what I'm saying? I'll get you right. quick as fuck. Like I get all these gentlemen right. Now, besides the point, guys, obviously the macro distribution is going to vary depending on the height, the age, the weight of the person, right? But generally speaking, for every single person watching this, if you just follow this, you will get great results. Do things need to be tailored? Absolutely, right? Absolutely, they need to be tailored. But from the get go, to get fucking 2 to 3 months of results, you can just follow this and run with it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's specificities like I talked about, but again, I don't know how much you weigh. I don't know your age. I don't know your lifestyle. I don't know your body, your fit, your actually composition. I don't know how much muscle you have, right? So that's when coaches would come into play, right? But anyways, bro, protein is used to build and repair muscles. Obviously, it also repairs skin and nails and stuff like that. Carbs are used to give the muscle energy, fullness, and glycogen, right? Energy to actually lift and have energy to train. And then fats, they're good for the hormone production, right? So that's the utilization of all these macros, and that's you're gonna want to divide up your percentages. Now, for those of you that don't understand what I'm talking about as far as dividing up your percentages, right? You're gonna want to download the app Lose It, non-paid promotion. These guys do not sponsor me. You know what I'm saying? I am not sponsored by anybody or anything but myself. All right. I don't promote anybody else's shit because I can't guarantee it. But this is an app I do like to use. You know what I'm saying? It's called Lose It. And when you enter your age and weight in the app, you're actually going to set your calorie target to the calorie deficit we talked about before, right? And then it's going to ask you for the percentages distribution, because what this app does is if you write down these percentages and enter that in the app, it's going to give you your daily macro targets, all right? And it has a food library where you can look up every single thing that you eat, and it's going to tell you exactly how many fats, carbs, and protein every single thing has to make sure that you're hitting your daily macro totals. Okay? I hope that's making sense. Now, I'm going to give you a sample nutrition plan, which you can actually make yourself by just entering your calories, you know what I'm saying, and doing the percentages on the app, and then starting to look up the food choices that you want your meal plan to consist of, right? So it doesn't have to consist of these choices, but this is like something I like to eat myself, all right? So 4 meals a day. You don't need to walk around with 5, 6, 7 meals a day like a fucking bodybuilder and with a Tupperware. That's not necessary. They fucking look great. I don't even do that. Okay. Now, breakfast: 4 eggs with fruit. Very basic, very simple. I like pineapple. You could do watermelon, is fucking great. Kiwis. What else? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, right? Lunch: 350 grams of sweet potatoes, 180 grams of steak. Very basic and simple. You know what I'm saying? Dinner: 180 grams of white rice with chicken breast. You know what I'm saying? Throw some condiments on there, some Tabasco, 0 calorie condiments, of course. Do not use condiments that have sugar or calories, right? And then post-workout shake, once you're done with your workout, 2 scoops of whey protein, 1 banana, and some peanut butter for some fats. So that's a sample meal plan. And the reason I put this on here is because people like to overcomplicate shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Guys, it's very simple. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a 5-star chef to get this done. Very simple. You can even use that for yourself and run with it, right? So I want you guys to be aware that you need to clean up your food choices as well. All right. Stop drinking alcohol, because alcohol is known to cause visceral fat buildup. All right. Stop the fucking processed sugars and stop the processed shit. This has been proven scientifically to cause visceral fat accumulation. It's been proven. You know what I'm saying? Now, for all the guys that say, if it fits your macros, guys, that is bullshit. All right. For those of you guys that don't know what if it fits your macros is, basically what they say is it doesn't matter where you get your calories from, as long as you get them from calories. So basically what they're saying is you can get all your carbs from Rice Krispies, or you can fucking get your protein from protein bars. That is the worst fucking advice I've ever heard in my life. And I tried it for a lot of years, and that was the reason why I couldn't get results. All right. So it wasn't until I actually switched my approach to clean, healthy, single ingredient foods that I actually started to look my fucking best. And look at my client transformations, bro. What fitness coach do you see that has these drastic client transformations in such a short amount of time? Because I don't know a single one, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know a single one. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Huncho. So if it fits your macros, it's bullshit. Eat single ingredient foods. Like you saw this meal plan. These are single ingredient foods. All these protein bars and all the shit causes inflammation in the gut because the body is processing foods that we're not meant to process, bro. Humans were not meant to eat all these fucking scientific ingredients that we don't even know how to pronounce or even say. If you stick to single ingredient foods, you're gonna start getting great results. Look at my clients, point in case. All right. Not only will you look better, you will feel amazing, bro. Improved energy, improved blood work, improved sense of well-being. All right. Now, Let's talk about building muscle because this is one of the key components of actually losing your gut. And I'm going to explain why. If you want to look good naked and avoid looking skinny fat, you must build lean mass. Don't be a bitch. I'm going to repeat that because that's going to be the theme throughout the rest of the video. Don't be a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Guys, if you want to look fucking great with your shirt off, you want to look good naked, you want to look aesthetic, you have to build lean mass. Okay, the more muscle you have, the more body fat you will be able to burn, the better you will look, and the leaner you will be able to get. Sometimes people can't get as lean, you know what I'm saying, because they don't have enough muscle mass on their frame, aka the skinny fat conundrum, right? So you'll actually be able to see your abs and get real lean if you actually focus on building lean mass. All right, now we're gonna talk about some big mistakes that a lot of people make when it comes to building lean mass. Number one, and I love this one because this is what a lot of people do, not doing enough volume, aka 30-minute workouts. Dude, I do 30-minute workouts, bro. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And you see them doing their little high intensity bullshit, you know what I'm saying? The little jump rope shit and the little one arm, one legged bullshit they see on fucking social media, right? Guys, per week, every muscle group must be hit at least 12 total sets per week. That is the bare minimum. All right. For your body to get enough response to actually build muscle, it needs to be a total of 12 sets per week per muscle group. So what do I mean? Let's say you did 3 exercises for biceps, right? And let's say you did 4 sets of each. 3 times 4 is 12 sets. So you did 12 sets of biceps for the week. That means that you're hitting that threshold. But that's the minimum threshold, all right? If you're a beginner, you could do 12 sets a week to start out for every muscle group, right? But if you're an advanced dude, you can push that shit all the way up to 25 sets a week. That might be a lot to some of you guys, but if you're intermediate or advanced, you can push the volume and you will look amazing, guaranteed, all right? Number 2, not tracking or logging your weights. I see this actually very common, you know what I'm saying? And if you guys see my client transformations, one of the reasons why we actually get them real good results is because we're tracking all their weights. We've systematized it through an actual app that we log everything, so I'm able to see what they're doing, right? So if you don't have an app that you can track everything so that you can look back and actually analyze your numbers, use like the notes on your iPhone. That's what I used to do for the longest time. Every workout, you have to track your reps and the weight that you're using, right? This is the only way to ensure that you're building muscle is by using numbers because numbers don't lie. That's the only way to ensure progressive overload, guys. You know what I'm saying? So you must be tracking your numbers. That way you're progressively overloading, doing more reps than last time, doing more weight than last time, okay? Now, mistake number 3, not training to failure. And this is another common one, okay? Again, don't be a bitch. You must train till you cannot perform another rep. The guys that look fucking amazing, the guys that you envy, the physiques that you are inspired by, that is how they train. Are you willing to train how they train? Are you willing to put in the work to get the results they have is the question. You must be training until you cannot do another rep. Point blank, period. Self-explanatory. Number 4, training within proper form. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Guys, stop the ego lifting. Okay, the ego lifting is not going to get you anywhere. There's this guy on Instagram. I think he's Palestinian. He's from New York, and you see these guys in the gym, like, uncle, don't be a bitch, man. Get the shit up, man. Don't bro. I don't even know what his name is, right? But I think I'm gonna make a video on him because, guys, the way these fucking dudes train, you know what I'm saying? That shit is hilarious to me. Because I guarantee you, 5 to 10 years down the road, they're not gonna be able to lift again. All right? Because if you lift within proper form and you're fucking ego lifting, you're gonna get injured. You know what I'm saying? And a motherfucker like me who's been run over by a fucking car as a damn pedestrian, you know what I'm saying? I almost died. I cannot afford to train with bad form. And a lot of older gentlemen cannot either. So you must ensure that you're not ego lifting, that you're lifting with proper form, not only to prevent injury and sustain longevity, but to ensure that you're working the right muscle group. All right. That's the key. All right. So full range of motion, big problem. I see a lot of guys doing half reps. You know what I'm saying? Or like these little curls, or like these little bench presses, or go all the way fucking down and all the way fucking up. All the way down and all the way up. That is how you build maximum amount of muscle, all right? Also controlling the tempo. You know what I'm saying? I see guys bouncing weights off their chest or doing really fast fucking reps. Guys, you need to control the negative because guess what? The negative is where the most muscle damage is done. And if you want to grow the muscle, you must damage the muscle so that when it's rebuilt, it's built back stronger. That's the science of building muscle. So control the negative. On the negative portion, you should be controlling it, almost fighting it, so you're actually able to tear down the muscle fibers on the negative. And number 5, which is absolutely incredible to me, not warming up. Dude, the same dudes that don't warm up are the same dudes that just stick it raw on the girl. And then next thing you know, the girl leaves them because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Foreplay, essentially. You must get blood flow to the muscle joints, to the muscle or to the joints that you're primed and ready to push heavy weight. So what the hell did I just say? Because I confused myself. What I just said is that you must get blood flow into the actual muscle that you're training before you actually train it. Right? You must get blood flow into the joints before you actually bench press. You must get blood flow into the shoulders, the elbows, because you want to be primed. You want to be lubricated and ready to fucking go. You know what I'm saying? Pause. So, if you aren't warming up, you probably look like shit guaranteed. Guaranteed. Why do I say that? Because you're not going to be able to lift heavy. You're not going to be able to lift to failure, which means you're not going to be able to build muscle if you don't warm up. Because you're going to go in there cold, lifting 50 pounds on the shoulder press, thinking that that's your max, when in reality, if you fucking warmed up, you'd be doing fucking 70s, bro. So that's why it's so important to warm up. Huge mistake, all right? Now, let's talk about how to build lean mass from a overview perspective, right? So the way that I like to do my workouts, and I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just telling you what I do, and what works great for a lot of my clients is 5 workouts a week. You know what I'm saying? 5 workouts a week, rep ranges from 8 to 15. That's where I like to live, from the 8 to 15 rep range. Sometimes I'll do 6 to 8, but that's for a whole nother phase or for a whole nother focus, which we can talk about in another video. 4 to 7 exercises per workout. You know what I'm saying? From the lowest end, we could do four exercises per workout. On the top end, we're doing 6 or 7 exercises per workout. That's usually like an arm workout or like a push day or whatever, right? And you want to do typically like 4 sets of each. You know what I'm saying? I typically do 4 to 5 sets of each. And you want to incorporate this technique that is called rest pauses. All right, now rest pauses, what it helps you do is it helps you train harder and train to failure. So what am I talking about? When you're doing a bench press, and let's say your max weight is 225 for 6 reps, let's say you do 225, you bump out 6. You rest the weight, and you wait 10 seconds, and then you try to get one more rep. You know what I'm saying? What that does is that allows you to push past your failure, which allows you to build more muscle. If you're doing this on smaller muscle groups, it's much better because it's much safer. You know what I'm saying? Because the bench press, you know what I'm saying? You could like choke. That shit drops in your neck, right? So that's like, let's say you're doing curls, or let's say you're doing tricep extensions or shoulder raises. Hit the weight to failure, rest 10 seconds, and then go at it again. Squeeze in more reps. That way you're pushing your best actual like limits, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're pushing to failure. Now, here's actually a common split that I do myself. So this is essentially like a huncho split, right? So the chest and shoulders on one day, then we're doing back and biceps on the other. We're doing legs one day, and then we're doing arm day, and then we're doing back and hamstrings, right? The back part of the body, you know what I'm saying? So you guys can even try that for yourselves. Obviously, you can put in the rest days appropriately. I didn't put them in there, but that's 5 days a week, and that's kind of like how my split is, you know what I'm saying? Now, let's talk about doing cardio. So if you're huffing and puffing after 5 minutes doggy style, you know what I'm saying? Pay attention, bro. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Doing cardio is an important component for fat loss because it aids in accelerating your metabolism, burning fat, stamina, and health. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get your stamina up and you're getting tired after 2 to 3 minutes of doggy style, lose your big ass gut because that's not helping you. Drop your body fat, drop your weight, and also do cardio. All right. Now, let's talk about what kind of cardio to do and how. I like steady pace cardio. That is my go-to type of cardio to get lean. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't tax your central nervous system, nor does it tax your muscle. All these guys doing these HIIT workouts, they're wasting their fucking energy, their central nervous system recovery capabilities on fucking cardio instead of using that energy to build muscle. You know what I'm saying? Then you end up looking skinny fat and you're commenting on my videos, yo, I look skinny fat. I lost 50 pounds. I need your help. You know what I'm saying? You should have taken notes, bro. You know what I'm saying? So high intensity interval training is good for people who have time constraints. Let's say you don't have time to do 30 minutes of cardio. Well, you can probably get that shit done in 10 to 15 minutes. But you run the risk of burning muscle and you increase your appetite. Because when your heart rate gets above 150 to 160, your ghrelin hormone, which is the hormone that actually controls your appetite, skyrockets, which is going to make you fucking hungry. You know what I'm saying? Which is actually going against what we're trying to do, which is lose fat, eating less. You know what I'm saying? So steady pace cardio is my preferred method because you can do a lot of this without really getting tired. You can fucking walk 1 to 2, 3 hours a day, bro, and not even get tired, not burn your muscles and not fatigue yourself. Also, it's good for specifically fat burning and for heart health, right? So that's the problem with the high intensity interval training is it does burn fat, but it burns muscle glycogen. You know what I'm saying? Slow, steady pace cardio just burns fat. It doesn't burn muscle glycogen. And it's also good for health for heart health because you're maintaining an elevated heart rate for more than 20 minutes, which is great for your heart. Whereas high intensity interval training, you're actually not maintaining it for more than 20 minutes. If you're doing sprints, you're doing that shit for like 10 to 15 minutes. All right. So here are some examples. Incline treadmill, Stairmaster, elliptical, bicycle, or even walking outside are great options, right? Now, let's talk about some common mistakes when it comes to cardio. Just because your steps tracker says that you're getting 10 or 15K steps every single day doesn't mean you don't need to do cardio. I work with a lot of guys and they'll tell me, yo, Huncho, I get in 10K steps a day at my job. All right, bro, let me see your physique. And they look like dog shit. You know what I'm saying? So the trackers are sometimes off. The trackers are sometimes off, right? So don't go by the steps. Some people just need to do more cardio than others. If you're fat as fuck and you're not losing weight, I don't care what your tracker says. Your tracker probably is off. And even if it isn't off, it means you need to do more because what you're doing isn't enough. Okay. So starting off with 45 minutes of cardio is also a mistake. You're wrong because you're using all the leverage you have. Okay. When you start your fat loss journey, all it takes is literally getting in a calorie deficit and cleaning up your food choices. And you're going to get a lot of great results doing that. Once the results start to stall off and the calories begin to get low, that's when you want to increase the cardio up to 30, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. And that's at the end. Like that's already when you're lean when you're at your leanest stage. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're at your fucking prime, like 12% body fat. That's when you're doing a lot of cardio. But if you're not there, stop throwing the kitchen sink at the situation because what's going to happen is you're going to hit a stalling point. And what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to do 3 hours of fucking cardio just to get the 20% body fat. You know what I'm saying? That's insane. Imagine doing 3 hours of cardio with man titties and the man titties are still there. You know what I'm saying? So with the guys that I work with or myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm only doing 50 minutes of cardio when I'm already having a six pack. When I already have them shits popping, if that makes sense. But like I said, some people need to do more cardio than others, right? But you do not want to start with 45 or 1 hour of cardio, your fat loss journey, because guess what? It's going to bite you in the ass. All right. Now, doing high intensity interval training workouts, it also wastes your energy on cardio. So this is another big mistake, like I talked about, is doing hit workouts. You're going to waste your energy on cardio instead of using your maximum energy for the weightlifting workouts, which is what's going to build that amazing physique, that lean mass. I see so many guys making this mistake. You should be using your energy and your recovery to lift weights like a man and stop being a bitch. All right. So that you can actually look at and build lean mass. Because, guys, building lean mass is not easy. Building lean mass takes time, it takes effort, it takes a systematized approach, a program, right? And I gave you all the fucking blueprint tools in this video, right? So that's the end of the video, man. You know what I'm saying? If you found that helpful, please hit the like button. Please. That shit helps out the channel. And there's a lot of people spreading misinformation online. So I would really help the community if you guys could hit the like button and leave a comment down below about what you thought of the video. All right. Southpaw Huncho, checking out. Peace. The system that we went through, the program, would you have been able to get these results by yourself?
Not at all, man. Not in a million years. I told you I was 1 year trying by myself,
Yeah.
and I didn't get the results I wanted. And
Yeah.
with you, the first 2 months, I got better results than the whole year I was doing it by myself.
A 40-pound fat loss transformation. You fat versus how you are now. How has your life changed?
Man, it my life has changed a lot with my family, with my job, with my coworkers, the relationship with people, my confidence, and sometimes I start seeing like pictures in my phone, and I can't believe it. I was like that.